Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over an updated wildcard draft for Game Week 8 because of the fixture cancellations this weekend. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment, are you wildcarding this week? What's your team looking like? Subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, the games that are not happening this weekend are United against Leeds, we've got Chelsea against Liverpool, and then, of course, Crystal Palace against Brighton. So, those fixtures are not going ahead. That's just because of the Queen's funeral and everything happening on Monday. And my last wildcard draft did feature a few of those players. So that's why today we're going over an updated wildcard draft, simply because you don't want to have many players in this draft that obviously aren't going to be playing this weekend. So in goal, we still have Ward and Pope. You could go Iverson if you really wanted to, just to save the extra 0.1. It's just the only reason I've got Ward in this draft is because he plays. Well, he's #1 choice at the moment, but that could easily change because Ward has not been great between the sticks for Leicester. I mean, Leicester as a whole haven't been great, but Ward in particular has not been very impactful at all in that back line. But yeah, Pope for the main keeper. There are other options as well. Raya comes to mind. Sanchez obviously doesn't play this weekend, and then their fixtures kind of get a little bit worse, so wouldn't necessarily go near Sanchez. A lot of people are thinking of bringing in Ramsdale as well for Arsenal. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that pick either. They've got some tough fixtures coming up. So yeah, I think Pope without a doubt for the next 5 fixtures is just the way to go. He's got Bournemouth at home, Fulham, Brentford at home, Man United away, and then Everton at home. I could easily see 3 clean sheets out of the next 5, maybe even 4. You never know. Pope is, is a really good keeper as well. He will get a few save points as well in the tougher games, potentially against Fulham and Brentford and United. But apart from that, definitely can see a few clean sheets in the next 5. So those are the goalkeeper options. The back line consists of Nico Williams, Reece James, Soufal, Cancelo, and Trippier. So yeah, we've gone double up on Newcastle defense. Trippier, I can't talk more highly about how good of an option he is at the moment. The next 5 fixtures are so good. He's on set pieces, and he creates so many chances as well. So he's an absolute bonus point magnet. So I think he should be in literally 100% of all wildcard drafts. He's just too good of a pick going forward to not have him in your team. Cancelo as well. Walker potentially could be out, and if that's the case, Cancelo might push to the right. And if that's the case, then yeah, he just looks a lot better on the right. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, Cancelo, he looks to be getting a little bit back to his former self from last season. So I definitely think I would definitely hold him for especially the next like 3 at least. I know they've got Liverpool and Arsenal in the next 5. Well, United as well. So they do have some tough fixtures. But again, he could easily get some sort of attacking return in any of those games. We see Liverpool aren't really up to their standards this season. Arsenal, probably one of the tougher games out of those 3. United's really a hit and miss in the Manchester derby. But I guess on the day, I mean, anything like the City and Liverpool game could easily produce an incredible football game. It all depends on the day. But yeah, Cancelo, I feel like, should be in a lot of drafts as well. I've also gone Soufal as well. He's a little bit more expensive than Emerson, but that's just simply because, Soufal should be playing every single game. He has been subbed early a couple of times, but he's always made it past 60 minutes. Emerson, of course, 4 mil. He's been really, really good in the games that he's played. Whether he starts now all the time, we'll have to wait and see. But I've just gone for Soufal for a little bit more of a safety net. But again, you could go Emerson if you wanted to. Emerson is a great player. Really like how he plays. But again, it's just kind of that peace of mind knowing that Soufal is going to get to 60 minutes every single game. I've also gone Reece James as well. I know he doesn't play this weekend, but that's fine. You can just bench him. And then they have Crystal Palace, Wolves, Villa, and Brentford. Chelsea just have good fixtures up until the World Cup and everything like that. So yeah, I really like Reece James as an option. As well as that, as Trippier, they're both going to be playing for like the England spots as well. So again, more of a reason to kind of have them in your team. Pope as well. Then we've also got Nico Williams, just for a 4.1 mil player, just for bench fodder. But of course, Forest do have some good fixtures coming up. Again, they're so poor at the back, but at the same time, could get attacking returns. He's so high up there for like shots taken by like wing backs and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like Nico Williams will get a haul at some point soon. Which game that's going to be in, I have no idea. I thought it would have been Bournemouth at home, but that wasn't the case. He did get an assist in that game, but then also conceded 3 goals. Anyway, though, that's the back line. In midfield, we have Martinelli, Bailly, De Bruyne, Zaha, and Andreas Pereira. So Pereira is another player that I think should just be in every single draft. He's just the best 4.5, 4.6 mil player in the game. On set pieces, corners, etc. And yeah, always seems to be just behind Mitrovic as well, so definitely going to get a few more returns throughout the season. So he's just a really nice bench option. And then in games like, obviously they play Forest on Friday, and I would play him in that game because Forest is just abysmal at the back. Pereira's on set pieces and stuff. I mean, I would just play him in that game. Zaha is another player that's in this draft. Obviously doesn't play this weekend, so you would bench him. And then they've got Chelsea as well, but then you just kind of have him before everyone's going to be bringing him in ahead of the curve, really. He's got Chelsea, but then he's got Leeds, Leicester, Wolves. As well as that, after those fixtures, he has Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Forest, Fulham, Bournemouth. He's just a hold until the World Cup for sure, for me. So yeah, whether you don't want to bring him in this week, that's fair enough. You could have like Bowen this week and then downgrade to Zaha after like the Chelsea game. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't have the funds for that in this this draft. This draft, I literally have 0 in the bank. So yeah, don't have the funds for that. But if you did want to downgrade someone and bring in Bowen instead, then obviously nothing wrong with that. Gone De Bruyne as well. Again, it's really between De Bruyne and Son, whichever one you prefer. I like De Bruyne more. He's actually having a really good season. He's just being overshadowed by Haaland, like every player is. But his chances created, assist potential, it's through the roof this season. So yeah, he's a really, really good option. And Son, a little bit cheaper, but has not really produced what he was producing last season. Again, they do have Leicester at home in the this weekend, so that could easily be a game where Son finds his feet and starts banging in goals again. Pretty sure he did start in the Champions League last night though, so again, potentially could be a rest. Kulusevski could play instead. You're not really too sure. Kane's the only player that is definitely going to play every single game. So for that reason, I like De Bruyne a little bit more. Again, De Bruyne is not partial to a rest either. He did get rested against, I think it was Forest he got rested against, which was obviously crazy because a lot of people did captain him in that game. But either way, if he plays in, against Wolves, he's going to play against United, Liverpool, Arsenal, because they're such big games. But either way, I think he's a really good option. And then Bailly as well, back in the drafts. I know that obviously a lot of people had him at the start of the season for 5 mil, but he seems to be kind of, getting a few more minutes now. He has played 90 back-to-back against Arsenal and City, which are, of course, 2 really tough games. So Gerrard clearly has a bit more faith in him now. He did score against City as well. So, yeah, I think as a nice bench option, he's not too bad. Again, you could go for somebody like Reed if you really wanted to, who's only 4.5. But I think Bailly's potential is a lot higher than Reed's for an extra 0.2 more. So, yeah, for me, Bailly, I would have him in a wildcard draft if I was gonna play it this week. And then finishing things off, we have Martinelli as well. I know that Arsenal's fixtures are a bit tough, but Martinelli's still one of the best options you can have for that price point. And I know they have Tottenham, Liverpool, and City in the next 5, but he could score in any of those games. Tottenham, they just lost 2-0 last night. Liverpool just scraped 2-1 and obviously lost 4-1 in the game before that in the Champions League. And City, fair play, really good at the back this year, but I mean, you never know. Could sneak a goal in if things go his way. So that's the midfield. And then up top we have Mitrovic, Kane, and Haaland, which I really, really like this up front, simply because it's got Kane and Haaland. But yeah, Mitrovic is just in there. He's just a staple on every single wildcard draft. On penalties, 6.9, probably going to go to 7 before the end of the deadline. But either way, just, yeah, really, really good option. Really nice fixtures coming up. Got Kane as well. He's got Leicester at home. Loves playing against Leicester. They do also have Arsenal, which again, that North London derby could go either way. And then Brighton, not under Graham Potter anymore. We don't really know what's going to happen with Brighton. Then he's got Everton at home and then United, so he could easily score in any of those games. On penalties as well, as we all know. Did miss one though, his last one I think against Dean Henderson, but at the same time, still having a really good season. I think he scored 5 goals already in the Prem. And then finishing things off, obviously Haaland as well, pretty much just set and forget captain for the rest of the season, really. But yeah, that's the team that I've got on paper so far. So unfortunately, the only thing that's wrong with this draft is that there's not really any easy way back to Salah and Trent if you did want to bring them in after their fixtures do get a bit better. As I said, there's 0 in the bank for this draft. I was only just able to make it. And so, as I said, there's no money to upgrade to Salah, who's 12.9. He'll probably go down to like 12.8, 12.7 as the fixtures are bad for Liverpool. Trent as well, 7.5 at the moment. But yeah, could go down to like 7.4, 7.3. So the only thing that I would really suggest for this draft, if you did want to bring those players back in, is that I would downgrade Kane to, I'd bring in Isaac for Newcastle, obviously really good fixtures, and Isaac's been really, really good in the couple of games he's played. And that gives you an extra 4.4 mil in the bank. So that allows you to upgrade De Bruyne to Salah. Eventually, again, he's probably the only player that you can really upgrade to him because no one else is really close to him. And then that still gives you 3.7 mil in the bank, so I'm sure you can upgrade like Sufel or something to Trent there as you can. You've got 8.1, so that's the only thing I could really think of for doing. You just have to sacrifice kind of Kane. I mean, there's not really anything wrong with kind of having Kane at the moment and then kind of transferring him out and then slowly bringing Salah and Trent back in. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. But again, if you didn't really want to be dealing with that kind of situation later down the line, then yeah, you can just obviously save the money now. But either way, that's going to be the wildcard draft for game week 8. I'm personally not wildcarding this week. I don't know if it's a bad decision or not. I'm going to go over my final thoughts in game week preview tomorrow. But yeah, I think I'm going to just wildcard in game week 9. I just like the security of having a wildcard during the international break. There probably will be injuries, and I don't want to bring in a player in game week 8 wildcard for them to then get injured and then have to, you know, take a hit or transfer them straight out in game week 9. So that's what I think I'm going to do. But either way, that's going to be everything for today's video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like down below. Leave a comment. What is your wildcard draft looking like if you've activated it? If not, what's the reason you're not activating it this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me, though. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And until next time, peace.